Hey everybody, this is Christina Louise, and I want to welcome you to your best year yet. We're talking self-love today with a transformational love coach named Mia Saenz. Hi, Mia.
Hi, how are you? This is so exciting to be here. Thanks, Christina.
You're so welcome, and we're privileged to have you on today. We're talking about how we can experience love and grace and gratitude for the bodies that we're in right now and in the place that we're in right now. And I know that's hard. It's been hard for me, and it's hard for a lot of our viewers, so I'm excited to get right down into it today and talk about what is the difference between conscious self-love and self-love.
Self-love is what most of the world is working on doing for themselves, and it's beautiful. They light candles, they do affirmations, take fancy baths, listen to music. We need that. Our soul needs that. But conscious self-love is putting the conscious intention of loving ourselves. All my work reflects and transforms people from how we are born, raised, existing, into truly loving ourselves. And what that looks like on the other side is unconditional love, not just for ourselves, which is compassion, expression, freedom, beauty, but it's learning how to love other people unconditionally. No one will love us unconditionally except ourselves. We always can be disappointed by somebody because until we learn how to do this correctly, we have expectations from people that they don't fulfill, just like we disappoint others. And it's just the way it is. It's part of this human world we live
So are you saying that nobody else can truly unconditionally love us but ourselves? Did I hear that right?
in. Until the other person learns what unconditional love is all about. Of course, we're always just unconditional love is non-judgment, it's freedom, it's peace, it's sincerity. We will always disrupt somebody else's life because we're doing what's best for us. And so if it doesn't go with their agenda, we're going to disappoint them.
Mm-hmm.
Or we may forget something and they'll get disappointed because they have an expectation that we didn't know about. So when we learn self love and the unconditional realm of it, we don't get hurt by others because we understand this is a journey. They're not where we are, or they are where we are, or it's totally okay that they forgot to get the chicken for dinner. We're not going to blow up and get upset. I mean, little things like that, even coffee cups places, disrupt households. I
Mm-hmm.
remember telling women when I was just a relationship coach, it's okay, forget about his coffee cup left on the table in the living room. Who cares? What's important is your connection together. Pick it up if he left it and go put it in the sink. It's not going to disrupt everything. If you do that, you're showing love. It's not that he did it that way. So you see what I'm saying? There's these basic things that as humans we do, but when we learn how to love ourselves first, we're not affected that somebody left their socks on the floor, their shoes over here, a coffee cup, simple little things. And who cares? Really, seriously, who cares? We're physically able to move them. If we're not physically able, then we'll have somebody else move them. But the point is not to let it disrupt our harmony.
Mm-hmm.
So simplistic things like that can disrupt our harmony. Can you imagine something that's bigger? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, oh my goodness, sometimes we might feel like our whole top is going to explode, our head's going to come off, or the roof on the house is going to fall in because we don't understand that this was not meant towards us.
Mm-hmm. So then I think what I'm hearing you say is that it's important for us to learn how to love ourselves unconditionally
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
then we're letting other people off the hook, whether they learn to love, whether they love us unconditionally or not, it then can't affect our peace. Is that right?
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily use the word off the hook because that is an aggressive term as opposed to it doesn't matter, it's okay. There's a difference between I'm letting you off the hook because you fucked up again. Excuse me,
No,
because
you're
you
fine.
messed up
We
again.
swear in this series.
Okay. Because you messed up again, or you know what, honey, it's really okay. And then inside, they didn't do that on purpose to upset me. That's
Mhm.
just something that they did. I know that I leave things all over at times. And when it used to upset my husband, who's incredibly evolved, I would say, does that really matter? And we would talk about it. Does that really matter in a relationship? To get upset because that's left there? Is that worth and this is how everybody is. Is that worth, and now I'm taking it into everybody else's form, not just mine, but is that worth creating a fight over one little thing instead of having harmony?
Mm-hmm.
Move it, or say, hey honey, can you move that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the way in which we want to be treated is the way that we treat others.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get down to the basic beginning of where all this stuff comes in? This is the part that I love. In birth, we are born perfect. We all know that. And society, family, religion, everything dumps their garbage on us. So really, our thought process isn't even our own, maybe 5%, because we've been planted on in our formative years with all this stuff that truly, if it was all removed, we wouldn't want it back at all. And so practicing self-love is all about stripping away these elements that are layered upon us that keep us down. It brings a freedom within ourselves. And then we connect our body to our soul so that they can marry peacefully. And I know you're going to have a bunch of questions about that. So I'll let you ask me.
Sounds good. Okay, I agree that it was important for us to kind of dial it back because we got right into relationships right up front, right? But and all relationships stem from our relationship with ourselves. And so we're going back to like where I want to share a personal story here really quick. I actually got mad at my boyfriend once, who I was living with at the time, and kicked him out of the house because he was leaving stuff everywhere and it was driving me crazy. I kicked him out. He took some space. A week later, I looked around the house. I'm like, this is all my mess. Like, right? So I totally get what you've said so far. And I'm feeling a little stuck right now on what questions to ask next.
Well, would you like to know the process of self-love? And then
Yes.
also let's dive deeper into the difference between, because there is a depth of conscious self-love.
Yeah.
So conscious self-love is really about making the intention that we love ourselves. I'm going to give you guys some tools, which will be explained as how I teach self-love and conscious self-love, because it's really vitally does change who we are. And so when we begin in self-love, we may begin with these simple tools of affirmations, reading, listening to music, changing who we are and starting to fall in love with ourselves. That's beautiful. There are thousands of ways to practice self-love. The only way to practice conscious self-love is to consciously have the intention of raising yourself and growing forward faster. You can utilize that in many different areas. And so it's really important. I'm going to give you guys some tools first in a moment. But first I want to say that conscious self-love looks like this. I tell my clients, or anybody that'll listen on interviews and all that, sounds funny, anybody will listen. It's, I write about it, everything. So everybody who follows my work knows this basically. So whatever you do, starting from the moment you get up, if you go make your coffee, make it with the conscious intention that you're amazing, that this is a special time for you, so that you're present in that moment with yourself, with the making of your coffee, the beautiful smell, everything about it. This is your time for you. And you do this several times a day. You pick when you want to do it throughout your day. But you're honoring yourself because, again, nobody will love us like we can love ourselves. So when you bond with yourself in that conscious aspect deep down inside, you really do shift and change. Things move so rapidly towards loving yourself, which brings great peace and harmony and understanding. So that's the beauty of it. Now here's some tools. These are the two most important aspects of self-love, and they go on the conscious level. You take a notebook, you keep it with you at all the time for your mirror work. Mirror work is vitally important to change who you are. Not everyone, I love this because in my Beautiful As You Are Now, and even in my Total Flow Mastery, we do this work where we have to know who we are physically. People don't know who they are. They look at themselves in the mirror and we're numb. We're totally numb in our body until we get to understand all our senses and everything. So when you look at yourself, you may just be looking at somebody going, ew. But when you really look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I love you, for most people, it's very painful for the first time. Most people on their first time out won't say, I know. They'll say, "ooh," or they'll cry, or they'll feel cold, they'll feel disconnect, they'll laugh. So you write all this down, and every day you do this for 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. You talk to yourself in the mirror how much you love yourself. If it's horrific, you have to comfort yourself. You have to calm down. You have to, even sometimes people self hug. And you get to the point where you want to ask why. Why am I feeling this way? Explain to me. What you're doing is you're reaching into your higher self, God, however people want to call it. Different thought beliefs call it source, creator, God, divine, whatever you want to call it is perfect. And so listen. And it may take a long time for you to learn how to listen, but listen for the answer. You'll realize that oftentimes this comes from our childhood. So our main years of where everything's developed is from 0 to 8. I also say 12 because junior high is a killer. Going in, leaving elementary. But really, we're told that we're ugly by other kids. We're told we have a big butt. We're told we have a big tummy. We're told we have big lips or a crazy nose or funky eyes. We were told the most crazy stuff by kids on the playground. And that settles into us. Our bodies are like sponges. We want to absorb everything. And so we do. And unfortunately, we absorb the negative. This is why I love mirror work, because when we tell ourselves that we love ourselves, we are listening, we are absorbing that love. And it hurts at first, and it doesn't feel comfortable. But after practice, and believe it or not, my VIP clients are doing this for 6 months. Sometimes they sign up for another 6 months. And they do this and other stuff, of course, it's not just this. But they do this every single day because it's hard work. And they've paid in order, or do the research in order to move and grow themselves, to shift and change, to have a more beautiful outlook on life. And we can't do that until we change ourselves, because positivity doesn't come in the space where there's negative elements. And most humans are negative until they reverse it. So mirror work is really, really important. I'm also here, if there's a problem, you can write me. I have a team. We do write people back based on the work that I do, and also some of the coaches are trained under my program. So we will write you back. It may not be within the first 24 hours, but we do. Generally it is. We try to hit you that day. The second most important, incredible growth thing, and it's on the free gift that I'm giving. It's called the Inner Child Meditation, and it's a process. I take you through a guided meditation that brings you into a place that's your own special sanctuary. And in there, you meet your younger self. And we start in the odd years. We start 3, and then we go 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and sometimes 17, if that was a disruptive time in your life. It was for me, so I had to take it to 17. And what we do in there is we spend time in that age, first at age 3. Oftentimes I hear from people, and I didn't have this experience, but oftentimes I hear from clients that their younger self doesn't want to bond with them. Very unhappy, felt very abandoned, very unloved. And sometimes you have to look at a picture of yourself so you can connect to that image of who you are. But as you build that relationship and rewrite your story more or less, you're loving your child, and you're also helping them get through some major crises that you have had in your life. If there was an abusive time during certain years, you're going to want to work through that during that sacred moment, or 22 minutes that you have with yourself during this process. And it's done weekly, and it's done until you feel comfortable in that age, until you have fallen, or you always love yourself, but until your inner child has fallen in love with you and feels safe. Now, sometimes that takes 1 week, sometimes it takes 4 weeks. Then I say, do not graduate that little being up to 5 until you spend at least 4 weeks after that with the same positive, loving self, because then you know everything's healed. So really working on ourselves is practice, practice, practice. It sometimes can hurt, and then it gets less and less painful, and you see the beauty. It's just like anything you do. If you want to be a pro tennis player, if you want to be a concert pianist, it has to take practice. triathletes, it has to take practice. People building their business, it takes practice. So are we not valuable enough to invest in ourselves? That's one question I ask. I also ask, when have you had enough? When is enough enough? And when people say, I've had enough, then that's the time that you will dedicate continuously to yourself. You have to commit to yourself to do this work, because you can go airy-fairy off on other tangents and forget about yourself, and we all do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay, because then we're not ready to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we do the main things are the mirror work, the inner child meditation. There's a few other things that I would say for my clients. They're not as exciting as that. They're not as powerful as those two tools. Those are my most powerful tools, and I share them with anybody that wants to utilize them, because they're really important.
Yeah.
They're really important in changing and honoring who we are.
So let's look a little bit deeper at the mirror work. Louise Hay talks about mirror work. I started with mirror work intuitively, not even, I didn't have a teacher or a coach. I had an experience, I had an out-of-body experience, and I couldn't look in the mirror. And looking in the mirror was sketching me out to the point of panic. And so within I don't know how long it took me, but I just knew I had to get a mirror, and I had to put that in my bedroom, and I had to look at it every day. And I just forced myself, and it was painful. The first time I did EFT 6 years ago, which is the emotional freedom technique for those who are not familiar with it, but it's this process of tapping at different points and then saying, even though I'm feeling uncomfortable with my weight, for instance, or even though I'm feeling edgy with my mom, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. And I looked at my coach. I did hire a coach to do EFT with me. I looked at her and I'm like, why would I say that? Like, what are you talking? Why would I say? I was so resistant to saying the words, I love myself.
Of course. Everybody is. Everybody is. There's very few clients that I have. I get the real spiritual, and I get the ones just coming over. So the real spiritual, they're okay, because they've been working on this stuff for a long time. But most everyone else, I get them where their abuse is so bad that they can't even look in the mirror. So then we do eye mirror work. And we don't even say we love each other, ourselves at that point. We're actually just looking at the color of the eyes, the shape, the eyebrow bone, so that they can get comfortable with themselves. It's really, there's so many elements to at least the work that I do. I match people where they're at. That's what's important, is to not have one specific thing and that a coach, whoever you guys choose, and not that coach be able to match you. They should be able to know what books they're offering you. They should be able to know just by their intake of you. So they would know who and how you are as they first meet you.
Right.
And then work from there. It's a beautiful process. Now, mine is a lot different than Louise Hay's, because a lot of people are saying to me, well, Louise Hayes says this. And I say, that's okay. If you're working with me, we're going to do it my way.
Yeah.
Because the most important thing is first to identify that you are a loved being and that you love yourself. And I don't study Louise Hayes, but I appreciate her because we have the same background. We were both raised in, or both in the same metaphysical offshoot of a religion. So I get what she's doing. It's gorgeous. It's lovely. She's been around forever. It's fantastic. And I honor that. But I also know that I rely on God as a conduit, as a channel for me. And so, like you said, I don't even know where I started looking in the mirror. That's how it happened to me. It was 27 years ago, and I had such an abusive childhood. I mean, very, very abusive. Even though I was raised metaphysical, it was incredibly abusive. My mother was missing some kind of a link somewhere. I say a missing gene. It totally was not like my grandmother or my aunts or anything else. And so it's really strange when we have to comfort, re-raise. I thought it was strange. People would say, and not therapists, but like directors of facilities, they would say to my siblings and I, you guys never should have made it, but you're all here. And I remember after 9/11, someone saying to me, she was the director of a facility, and it was that bad. My PTSD was so bad that when 9/11 hit, I cracked like a little nut. And that's okay, because that was a huge, hey, they think it's okay too. We have a lot of noise in my office. So it was amazing, because I realized I was an incredible person for surviving what I did. And I took that, instead of feeling like a victim, I took that to be a thriver, to create my life how I wanted it to be. I could see the difference. I always knew that I was loved. I had a great relationship with God. I always knew that. But to actually then take these steps and move forward, even before 9/11, when I first started this, I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, I love you. I don't know why I did that. I just did that. And I broke out crying, no, no, I hate you. And then I did something else that I thought was incredibly weird. I tried to self comfort myself by hugging myself. And that's not weird. But at the time, it seemed incredibly weird to me. People don't understand that loving yourself like this is really important until they begin to do it, until they've had enough garbage of whatever their life is like and they want to create happiness. True inner happiness, that's where it comes from, it's inside us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we express it outward to the world.
Mm-hmm.
People see my life and they're like, what is it that you don't have? And I'll say, I have everything I need and want. I have created a magnificent life, and so can you. It's not about one person is greater than another. No one is greater than another. We're all totally equal. But it's about who's going to take the steps and practice stuff so that they do live their dreams. I didn't live my dreams for more than half my life until one day I woke up literally and it was like, bam, it was literally like the seas parted, the lights came in on me, and it was like, you're dying. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that.
So you spoke about keeping a notebook for 3 months. Can you break down the steps for people who are wanting to go in front of their mirror right now? Like let's do that.
Okay, some of the mirror work and the inner child meditation there got mixed up. So the mirror work, you do it for 3 to 5 minutes a day. And you do that as long as you need to, not just 3 months. You do it as long as you need to. I have clients that do it 6 months and a year. So you go stand in front. I always tell people to go into the bathroom. Where's your biggest mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bathroom. Okay, go into your bathroom. Make sure that it's within 15 minutes that you wake up, because as we go on through the day, we have all this conscious stuff that messes with us. And maybe we'd have to pray or meditate to bring ourselves back to a beautiful state in order to do our mirror work. So you get up and within 15 minutes you do your mirror work. You stand in front of the mirror, you have your notebook next to you and your pen, and you're going to say, I love you. And your reaction is going to be, especially if this is the first time, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be all over the place. It could be nice and it might not. When you're through with your 3 minutes, you're going to write down what your experience was. Write down how you felt, what your reactions were, everything about that. If you keep doing this and practicing, you are going to see an improvement. Now, the reason we keep our journal every time we do mirror work is this. As we become more comfortable with ourselves and start to fall in love with ourselves, there are moments in time that aren't good. So you may get in front of the mirror and you may say, I love you. And your reaction won't be, I know. Your reaction might be, you'll cry, you'll scream, and then you have to write that down and say, what was going on in my life? So this is why we keep the notebook. You go back to before that happened and you see what went on. It could have been a car accident, it could have been a breakup, it could have been a fight with a best friend or a sister. Those things do disrupt our harmony. And until we work on ourselves on a regular basis, like a daily, moment by moment basis, we are going to be upset. And so then we would see, oh, that was because of the car accident, or I was in the hospital, or I was really sick, or somebody said something horrible to me. You're going to realize that it has nothing to do with you. Again, it's outside forces coming in, just like when we're a baby, all the information is put upon us. It's not really even our own thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you identify what's going on with you in your mirror work. And when you realize that it has nothing to do with how you truly feel about yourself, but how you feel due to an external situation. And believe me, it's going to change. And how we can shift and change those is realizing that we don't want to waste our energy on that type of thought process. We want to continue to move forward in a beautiful, gracious way to grow. It's all about how deeply do I want to go down this rabbit hole?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to go all the way and be happy and live magic? Or do I want to, Go and stop, go and stop. I encourage everybody to take their pace at how they want to go, but to really do it and practice, 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 because when you start to feel magic, it's incredible. You realize that you are on a path that not everybody understands.
Mm-hmm.
And literally everything changes. You learn how, because you then have started working on your mind shift, and I also teach understanding fear. All that together, you can manifest anything, which is my total flow mastery. So it's conscious self-love, understanding fear, shifting your mindset and focus to manifest what you want. That means relationships, that means business, that means checks flowing in, money flowing in like the ocean. It's all up to you, but it's working the process within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so conscious self-love really does jump us forward faster. Because whenever we put the intention of something into anything we do, I'm sure that you all have been driving somewhere and you're like, dang, I'm going to be late. And then you set your intention, no, I need to be there by X, Y, and Z. And you'll find that you're usually there a minute early, if not a few minutes early. You've reshifted your calculations and your whole programming, and you're there on time. And people are like, how does this really work? This is crazy. Our life works this way as we put our intention forward. So when we put it into ourselves, we grow faster.
I agree, and I'm glad that you said that, because I was feeling pressed to share about how when I was younger, I was severely abused. I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that you had such a rough childhood, and so did I. And no duh, we're here together. But and I hated myself. I hated my body. I hated my life. I hated other people. I didn't want to hate other people. I didn't want to hate myself, but I did. And I remember I had like moles all underneath my underarm. I had these like hideous, like long stringy moles on my underarms. And I was really embarrassed. I was really overweight. I didn't take very good care of myself. And I got myself into an environment with people who didn't care about any of that. They just liked me for who I was today. They weren't like, we kind of get that in high school, right? People are kind of like, what kind of shoes do you wear? Who do you hang out with? What do you have? And that equates to your value. Well, I got myself involved with a group of people who didn't care about any of those things, and I felt it was uncomfortable, and I didn't trust it, but I realized looking back on it now, it was a very safe environment to start doing my mirror work. And I just decided, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to love myself right now, the best that I can with what I've got right now. And I don't have moles anymore. Like, I'll show you. Like, they're not there. So I really like that example that you shared. We're always looking for something outside of us, a diet, a new hairstyle, extensions, more makeup, better, this and that. And the truth of it is that when you start to just accept where you're at right now and start to love yourself right now and take those little baby steps every day, the physical actually changes.
It does.
It changes.
It does.
And I didn't go and get laser surgery. They're just gone. They're just gone.
Everything changes because when our vibration changes, our whole reality changes. And so one thing that I totally love about this work, and I'll say my work because I don't believe, I believe it came from God. It's a download. One thing about this type of work is that we have an inner light within ourselves, and it turns on when we start to do this self-discovery work, this self-growth work. If there's a light switch that flips, not only does your consciousness flow, they want to know what your secret is. And they don't care whether you're heavy or thin or whatever. The beautiful as you are now concept of my work and my magazine is that we don't have to wait 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, 6 months. We are incredibly beautiful now, but really it's all about discovering it within ourselves so we can express it outward. I've gained weight in my marriage. I'm working on removing it, releasing it, but it doesn't mean I'm any less beautiful than I was before I got married. I may not be as sassy, dating wise, because I'm married, for God's sakes, I'm sassy with my husband instead of the world. There's still a sassiness about me to the world. So the point is we discover who we are and we go from there. We turn that light on. And who wants to be in the dark when you have this essence about you that you totally love and everybody loves about you? It's really a beautiful thing. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't. I used to not even know that some of these gorgeous men that I would date, if they were even truly as beautiful as I thought they were to the world, because I fell in love with their essence, their qualities, and it turns out they were dang hot because everybody would say, "How did you get that person?" And I would say, "Because I'm beautiful. You know, not on the outside. I'm beautiful on the inside." And apparently, my outer picture reflects my inside, people say. Just like I see everybody as attractive because I see who they are. I'm looking for who they are. I'm not looking to see if, you know, by media standards, if they're a hottie that way. I'm looking to see your qualities. I'm looking to see your soul. This work is revealing our soul. It's getting us comfortable with our inside so we can get comfortable with our body so our body isn't numb and our soul is revealed. When we're in perfect harmony with our human essence, our body, and our self love, our soul is revealed to do what it needs to do. These people who do amazing things in lives, it's because they've worked on themselves. They're allowing their soul to go forward and to do what they need to do. That might be a more spiritual way of expressing it for some people who are not in this way of thought. So I'm going to say to you, look at all the business people you like, look at all the entertainers, and look at what qualities. Somebody's having a good Sunday riding their bike. Look at all the good qualities that you like in them. And generally it's they're charismatic, they're funny, they're not afraid, they're out there. Well, when we get comfortable with ourselves and we can be that way, that's when the magic flows. That's what I'm talking about, the magic, because we're not afraid, we're confident, we're comfortable, we're harmonious with ourselves, we love it, and people love that about us.
Yeah, you know, I was just thinking about Dave Chappelle. I flippin' love Dave Chappelle. I think he is one of the sexiest guys I've ever seen. And one day I was watching his stand up and it dawned on me that if Dave Chappelle wasn't Dave Chappelle and he was just some guy walking down the street, I would not think he was that hot. He's not my type at all. But it's his charisma and it's his energy and his freedom and it's his, I don't care what people think about me, that makes him so flipping hot to me. You know? And so we see that when we fall in love, right? It's like we fall in love and they get instantly like 10 degrees hotter to us. And so that's, I think, what Mia is helping us all to start doing in our own life, is to fall in love with ourselves and really see how beautiful we really are, just as we are right now. And I know that that's really hard to believe for some people because it was so hard for me to believe, but I did it anyways because I felt like, well, if I'm gonna live, then I'm gonna at least try to live happily. And it felt good to let loose. It felt good to stop picking on myself. It felt good to look in the mirror as much as it was painful. It also felt good. It was like a good kind of pain. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mia?
I do, because it's work. It's work for us, but then we see our rewards from it, and it's like, bring it on. I'm ready to deal with that thing over there. I'm ready to deal with that, and we become stronger and more graceful and more beautiful.
That's very true.
I have a saying of grow your grace, and I've been asked, what does grow your grace mean to you? And I say what it means is I'm completely in alignment with being a divine being in a human body. And that's what growing your grace is all about. It's about being able to have confidence and freedom and sassiness and make money and help others and have people just adore you because they love you. They see who you truly are. Grow your grace is all about bringing out your beautiful essence of who you are. I mean, absolutely, totally. And it does take work. I want to say, because you were saying about at one point it was really hard. In 2007, I was dying, literally. I had been in an accident, and I had also gained so much weight on purpose in my married life, my first marriage, because I was trying to keep men away. They were constantly, even though I was married, still coming on to me. So I realized, wow, if I gain enough weight, I'll keep these men away. And I'll be safe. I won't be raped again. I won't be this. I won't be that. So in 2007, I was literally done. I was told I had less than 2 years before my organs were crashing. I was in a wheelchair from an accident where I was hit on the head, I was twisted, I had paralysis in my leg. And I woke up on a birthday. This is the day I told you that the light came in and the Red Seas were parted and the whoa, whoa, whoa. I woke up and I thought, wow, I'm halfway through my life, and by clock standards or whatever. And I've never been happy a day in my life. I've been grateful for my children. I've been grateful for my connection to God. My marriage is now askew that I have children. What is going on? I've never been truly happy. I've had an abusive childhood. And I thought, I gave myself the greatest gift. I thought, what would it be like? This is where my dream belief creates comes in, which is my early and main work, how we get places. What would it be like to envision being happy? And so I spent the time that was my gift to me. There was so much self-sabotage for myself that I had to justify it was my birthday to give myself that gift. It's crazy because who wouldn't want to survive? And when I realized, okay, they said I have less than 2 years, my organs are crashing. I have two children that I love and adore. They're with me all the time because they're afraid they're going to lose their mommy again. How can I create my life? When I saw my relationship with a man, it wasn't with my husband. It was actually more like with the man, my husband now. I realized I wanted a different connection, deeper with my children. How could my body look? How could I be health-wise? What could I give to the world? I did all this. I planned a platform of how I wanted to live. It was so exciting, and I believed it. This is where the dream, believe, creates come in. I couldn't live another day, another moment without moving forward. And so I did. I created my life. And I remember saying to my children, mommy's not supposed to make it. Well, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to get in shape and I'm going to fight like hell to live. I said, I may not. It may kill me faster, but I don't care because if it's the only legacy I can leave you is to try, that will be enough for you to create your life one day. So my kids said, we support you, Mom, and we love you, and we want you to do what makes you happy. When an adult tells a child that, I'm dying, but I'm going to do this anyways, it's pretty dang scary. I created my life. I did a plan. I got out of that damn wheelchair. I built my inner core. In 4 months, I started my nutritional program. I lost 20 pounds a month. I lost 140 pounds in 7 months. No surgery, all heart-mind connection, working out, eating right. We can do amazing things. Within 30 days of my program, my sister said to me, Mia, people do not bounce back this fast. People do not get muscle retention back. People do not survive what you're doing. You're working out twice a day and you haven't worked out in 20 years. You've been sedentary. And I said, I know. I said, God has graced me with, whatever you want to call it, source, creator, spiritual being, whatever. I've been blessed and I'm here to serve mankind. So from that moment, I put myself into a different place. I knew that magic was happening to me. I knew I could do it. I could see it 30 days in. I could see that there was a miracle there. People didn't even recognize me in 4 months. They'd walk past me and I'd say, hey, it's Mia. And they'd go, oh my God, you look so different. There's something about you. And my light had turned on. That's the light I'm talking about. The flip switched and I was on. It's magnificent when we take the effort to change ourselves, to work ourselves, to love ourselves. It's not changing, it's loving and discovering who I was. And it started my career. It started my career as a it started everything. This is why I love the work I do. Because it's not just the work I've seen on myself, but it's the work that I've seen on each individual person who has the time to say, Mia, I need help. Even if they're not my VIP clients or whatever, I talk to people and I spend time with them. Because if I can shift one person's life, it's brilliant. And I say, follow my work, follow this person's work. This will lead you in your path of self-love, and then you can choose what you want to do. But be active. Be consciously active in your life. Don't settle for letting it go by. My life was going by, and I knew that it was going by. It's like I was playing either Russian roulette, with the gun type thing, or running on a railroad track. That's how careless and unloving I was to myself. My self-sabotage was so bad. I didn't look at myself in the mirror for 10 years. And with that accident, I had to have somebody literally bathe me and help me. I couldn't move. I couldn't reach around. I wear 6-inch high heels. I love to dance. I obviously don't use a chair. I don't use a cane. we can literally change. There's documented evidence of paralysis in my leg. It's crazy what we can literally do when we shift our consciousness.
Right. Yay. Thank you so much for sharing so vulnerably with us today.
And thank you for letting me, because boy, I got all that.
No, it was good. It was like, please go ahead. I was trying to just hold space and allow you to share. And
it's been a long time since I've been able, or since I've shared like that, because it's been years, you know. So a lot of people know my story, know my background, and many people don't. So thank you for allowing me to
you're
share.
welcome. You're welcome. So remind us again about this awesome free gift that the
Yes.
viewers are going to receive today when they click the link.
Yes. Gift one is Spirit Life, which is my transformational healing meditation CD. So on there, you get the inner child meditation. You also have contentment, which is almost as if when I went into the studio to record it, I did a lot of prayer and I just said, okay, Father, you talk through me. I want people to understand what it's like as if you were talking to them. So we talk about their magnificence. Number 3 is restful intentions. So it helps people work through being able to rest from any type of sleep disorder, programming yourself to have a beautiful day the next day, and even waking up a minute or two before your alarm clock goes off. And the last one was I took a survey from people who follow my work, and I said, out of everything I do, what do you want to know? What can I do meditation on? And the unanimous vote was grounding. People wanted to learn how to get out of their depression, out of their funky mood. So it's a very powerful CD, and I'm honored to share it with you guys, and I hope you love it. Let me know how you like it. And then also, we have, I think it's probably 6 months worth of free magazines for you from the Bellamy magazine, where every woman is beautiful. It's a transformational holistic magazine, and at some point we're going to go to paid subscription, but right now just enjoy it. It's lovely. On the issue that's out right now, we have actress Lily Verbeck from the Outlanders. She was on the Borgias. You'll find so many power-packed articles in there on how to shift and change your life, and it's beautiful. Everything from food, from fitness to, you know, the new paradigm of changing your mindset to there's a self-love section too, and body image, so enjoy it.
Ooh, I'm really excited. So gift 1 is the CD with the 4 different sections, and then gift 2 is 6 months of access to the Bellamy.
Yes, until
Yeah.
April.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Talk about your best year yet. Now we've got them all suited up.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, don't freak out when you do the mirror work, or if you freak out, don't freak out that you're freaking out. Keep it cool and have fun, and reach out to Mia or me with any questions that you have about this kind of stuff. We're here for you, and we care about you, and we're so proud of you for being courageous enough to embark on this journey within, and we just want to let you know that we love you and we support you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much for letting me be on with you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. I had a lot of fun too. Go ahead and click the links below this video and receive Mia's 2 free gifts, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye.